Yeah, you read that title right. Now, stick around for several more minutes and get even more mad. Who does this annoying, ugly, elderly woman think she is? Hi, I'm Rawrist. I like sci-fi, fantasy, and dinosaurs. I want to start by saying I am happy with any Game of Thrones spinoff we get. Honestly, I'm desperate for anything Game of Thrones, A Song of Ice and Fire related. So when I'm complaining about this, keep that in mind. They could do a spinoff about Moon Boy for all I care, and I would do just crazy breakdowns of every episode and the deep meaning behind that candlestick over there and why it was shoved up her ass at that angle. Give me an entire spinoff about Extra 784. I don't care, I'll watch it. That being said, I think House of the Dragon is absolutely a mistake. Or rather, it being the first Targaryen-centered show post the main series is a terrible mistake. And HBO, you dumb. So House of the Dragon, just in case you don't know, is a terrible Targaryen civil war between two half-siblings fighting over the throne. It takes place about 129 years after Aegon conquered the Seven Kingdoms. Do not argue with me about his title. It is what he has in the books and in the world of Ice and Fire, and they explain it, and I've explained it. You're not clever when you go, well, actually, he didn't quite go down. We get it. And it takes place about 170-ish years before the show and books, which is just a weird fucking time to pick. I get there's lots of incest and dragons and sex. Okay, I'm getting it a little bit more. But there's so much rich Targaryen history to go through. Why start in the middle of it? Why jump the gun, HBO? Why would you just... boom, hey, we're gonna pick this period, and it's gonna be, like, super expensive with all the dragons fighting. Oh, wait, no, we're not gonna give as much money to it. So it's gonna be even shittier dragons than some of the dragons that were in the main series. Now, I'm gonna show a clip, and I'm not saying anything bad about how this dragon looks, but I need you to just take a gander. Yeah, sucks ass. You think they're gonna do any better with a spin-off show? I just don't know why you would give up the opportunity to start at Valyria and then show the Targaryens leaving and going to Dragonstone, and then a couple generations going by, and then Aegon going, yeah, I'm just gonna take your shit, and then progressing through every Targaryen monarch. And I know there are 17 Targaryen kings and one queen, depending on who you ask, and it would be insane to give a season to each Targaryen king, but honestly, HBO, it could have been your cash cow for like the next 20 years. And if you want, you could switch out directors every season so you wouldn't get, I don't know, just throwing some random initials out of my brain. Someone like D&D, who just got tired of it and decided to piss over all of it in the end. But HBO, why? Why are you not doing it from the beginning and you're just starting in the middle? And honestly, with the way you kind of fucked over the Targaryens in the end in the main series, you kind of put a damper on some people's enthusiasm for this. Though certainly the monsters that love seeing dragons kill each other are gonna love it. Imagine this. You get us attached to each Targaryen monarch, and also their spouse, and everything that's going on. And then we get to the Dance of the Dragons, and we're like, oh, I have seen these dragons and these Targaryens, and man, I'm really upset. I mean, how many seasons are you giving House of the Dragon? 1 season? 2 seasons? I know you're starting back sooner when Viserys and Daemon are a bit younger, but those are probably just flashbacks. Because unless we're gonna spend a lot of time caring about these characters and building them up, just a season or 2 of this just seems like a huge waste. And I swear to God, if you go through the entire Dance of the Dragons in 1 season, I'm gonna do what all boomers do. I'm gonna write an angry letter to you. And I'm not going to use one of my dinosaur stamps on it. Because I don't know, maybe we're getting that spinoff on the sea snake, so maybe we have the first season of the Dance of the Dragons. We get super attached to the sea snake. We see Corlys Velaryon in his own show for a season, doing his crazy epic adventures, and then boom, we go to season 2, and we're like, oh, I'm so much more invested in these characters. In that case, why don't you do a spinoff about Daemon Targaryen? Dude was fucking epic. Which is also kind of weird because if they want to do flashbacks and then they're doing spin-offs of characters before the Dance of the Dragons, why not do that? Okay, have these one season things like, oh, Corlys Velaryon, he's going on his epic adventure. Oh, Daemon Targaryen, his early life and his roguish behavior. Like, you could center on these characters for a season and then merge them all together for Dance of the Dragons. Also, this is something that really, really bothers me. I know the old HBO programming president was all, oh, we want to wait for years after the main show before getting started, and then the whole long night thing fell through after they filmed the pilot. Why? You were so worried about saturating the market with Game of Thrones, but now you've waited so long to get these spin-offs going? Audiences are... It's going like this, HBO! Do you know the average person's attention span? You should have been filming this spin-offs while the last season was happening. So boom, the next year you have a new Game of Thrones show. Or, maybe you shouldn't have ended Game of Thrones the way you did. That could probably help with enthusiasm. And you can really tell after they had switch out of certain people working at the higher positions in HBO, it went from maybe 1 or 2 max Game of Thrones spinoffs, that's all we'll ever do, to the new staff comes in and they're like, oh no, we're pumping this shit out. 5 spinoff shows, George is over here planning this, we're gonna do an animation. You should have had that person in the first place. So I'm not advocating violence, because violence, well, if it's not solving all your problems, you're not using enough of it. But I'm not advocating it in this case. Maybe slap the person that didn't want to saturate the market with Game of Thrones shows and now has you in this position where it's quite a bit after the main series, people are cooling down, and, the only people that really talk about Game of Thrones anymore is to just bitch about how terrible the last couple seasons were. Anyway, I am so excited for House of the Dragon. I'm going to review every single episode and just lose my fucking mind.